Hey, this is Amaranth.
And this is Eminent.
Come talk with me about
The dating pool and being picky about it.
being picky in the dating pool.
Yeah.
Tell me about
Well, I guess it's about standards, having your standards, and if your standards are too high or too low, or what is the right amount of standards to have.
it. It's definitely a right amount. It's definitely a wrong amount.
The wrong amount, too low or too high.
Both. There's a spectrum. You should be in the middle. You should not be too low for sure. We won't even really talk about that too much
Know your
because,
worth.
yeah, know your worth. Meditate, love yourself, do all those things. The real issue is too high. Like that's the one where most people have to come to grips with.
Be realistic.
Absolutely.
I'm just simplifying it here. That's all.
I've seen some wild, not me personally, but I've seen some wild things out there. Like people having on the wrong shoes, or that shirt looking weird, or it was untucked a little bit, like ruining a whole date for stuff like that. I'm like, oh my god, how vapid? What?
I get that. I get that. How shallow for that to be your turn off.
Yeah.
And I would agree if those are your turnoffs of the shirt is a little bit untucked, or even the shoes. I guess their choice in shoes and fashion. I understand wanting someone who knows how to dress, how to coordinate, and take care of themselves, how to groom themselves and whatnot, so they come to the date looking like someone loves them, right? Looking like they got some home training.
Mm-hmm.
And I completely understand that. Don't come to the date. It's supposed to be a good first impression.
Right.
You didn't brush your teeth. You didn't shower. Maybe you work out in the sun as construction all day and you don't go home take a shower before a date. I'm coming feeling muffy. I completely understand all those basic functions that you should have taken care of before the date, and those being kind of turn off. Not even kind of those are turn off when you come in. It's like, oh
Yeah.
man,
Don't stink.
right. Um, but if they come in and they don't have the highest fashion, I was like, okay, well, could he bring anything else to the table? Like
Anything else to the
anything
table?
else? Yeah. What's the personality like? If they can make you laugh, they can hold a conversation, and they're a decent person. I mean, to me, what they're wearing isn't really that much of a
Because that can
deal.
change.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
If you really like someone or you really want them to, and you're just like, hey, I would find you more attractive in this outfit. I also would not do that. But um and not even every time, because if you do like a certain outfit, like if you like I don't know, a certain heel or a certain wedge or whatever, that's fair. That's fair. Be like, "Hey, I love you in this thing. Can you do that thing every now and then?" I get that. But if you're just like, you look like Miss Frizzle, I hate you, then I mean, you got some you got some skeletons that you need to take care of. But
One, Miss Frizzle was a beast, and I feel like I don't know. Any guy would be lucky to have a Miss Frizzle. You get someone who loves science and has a magic school bus and a lizard named Liz. She's a keeper.
I don't know about that.
She's a keeper.
I don't know about that.
Yes,
I don't want to deal with the magic school bus.
you do. You do. Do you know the dating potential with a magic school bus is immensely better than just okay.
I don't
When
want
you
to.
take a date to outer space, you tell me.
I don't want to do that.
I would.
No.
I most definitely. I'd be like, is that an option? That
No.
it doesn't take us years to go to the whole. We can go through the whole solar system
I understand what
within
you're
a school
saying.
day.
I understand what you're saying. I don't want it.
I do.
I
That's
do
all I'm
not.
saying. And you don't have to want that, but it's a magic.
If we're sitting there and you're trying to take me into a cell, put me through a urethra, I'm not coming. I'm not
Why
going
is
with
that
you.
your option? Out
I'm
of
just
all the
saying.
options you
I'm
could
just
have, that's the one you pick.
that's where it could go.
It could go if you guys decide to go there.
I don't want to. I don't want to go to the
Then
moon.
don't
I
go.
don't want to go to the.
Go to where you want to go. That's all I'm saying.
Well, what
Your
am I gonna do with a
options.
magic school bus? I want to go to Jim and Nick's. That's it.
The magic school bus can still take you to Gymnix.
My car takes me there.
It can fly you there. In fact,
I don't want to fly.
It could be a rocket, take off, and then still land at Gemini. See, within the school day, you can come back. You can take a trip through the solar system. Why is the school day important? Because she does it within a school day.
But why is that important?
And she usually shows up late, and then get done before they go home. It takes us months to get to the moon.
Yeah,
Miss Furlow does it in a few minutes an hour.
I'm not saying she's bad for that. I'm saying I don't want it. She's fantastic.
Miss Furlow can take me anytime. I don't care that I'm married.
She's fine. I just don't want to deal with the school bus.
Okay, but that's not the point.
I'm just telling you. I'm standing my ground.
Amaranth's standard's a little too high. I don't know. I don't know.
It's not even high.
It wasn't high.
It's just don't give me a magical bus. I'm good. That's pretty low.
It's too low. Anyway, yes, be very realistic, and understanding. Like, I understand first impressions are important, but don't let your first impression be before they even open their mouth. In some instances, like me, you come in with rags, it's like, okay, you couldn't do nothing. But even then, maybe they have a story. They just finished saving someone from a burning house before they made it to the date. Bam. Now you left the hero because he came with rags.
It's not likely.
It's not, but it's possible.
I guess it's improbable, but possible, yes.
There you go. So, that's all I was saying.
No. I would, if they show up in rags, don't do it. Don't do it. This is not Aladdin.
Aladdin, to his point, Aladdin did not show up in rags, and he's a street urchin. That man got a magic lamp and showed up in some nice threads.
Yes, but he wished to be a prince, and then he wasn't a prince. So I'm not really sure how that works.
I think because he wished to be a prince, he was in a prince.
Because he wished he wanted to be, and then he wasn't because he wished that? Is that what you're saying?
No, because he wished that he was a prince, he then became a prince.
But at the end, when they're all like, oh, he's like, I'm just a street rat. But no, because he wished to be a prince, so he should have, therefore, still been a prince.
Yes, most definitely. So the implications of that wish are far-reaching. Like, some land was just created that knew him as a prince,
and people,
and then their prince just never came home.
Yeah, he just abandoned them.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll get into movies on another one because there are things to be said about incomplete stories.
Yes.
But your story about who you choose as a partner should be totally based not only on what they wear or superficial constructs and aesthetics.
Aesthetics fade. They go away. The stuff you need to build on, the stuff you need to stick to are not superficial. Yes, it's important for them to have their head on their shoulders because they'd be dead. And it's important to make sure their finances they don't have to be rich, but make sure that they don't just spend all their money in crazy places. Yes, all that stuff is still important. But don't be ridiculous if that makes sense.
See how they handle situations in which they are down. Like, if you're talking about, like, on your first date and you're talking about life stories and, you're comfortable and confident enough to ask them about times where they were not in a good place and how they handled it and how they were with the people around them, that says a lot about character.
See, I would not ask that question on the first date.
That's why I said if you're confident and comfortable, go
Even
for it.
If you were confident and comfortable, I would probably deflect very hard.
And that'd be your,
I'm not a trusting
that'd
person.
be your choice.
Yeah.
But some people are very open. In fact, hey, if you with somebody and you have just the gift of gab, go for it. Learn as much as you can about who they are as a person and their character quickly. I mean, they'll try to sell themselves, but if you can see past the I don't know what word to use now.
Do they even try to sell themselves anymore? I feel like everyone is so worried about themselves that you're trying to make sure that they are what you want, you're not giving them anything. I feel like that's what happens a lot. Like you're not even trying because you want to just be like, are they this? Are they that? So you're not proving anything. Like you're just being a bump on the log, trying to make sure that they're whatever, whatever, whatever. You're not even showing who you are. You're not even showing if you're anything. You could just be the worst and boring. I don't know. You could just be the best and fascinating.
But if you're trying to find out what they are, they have to be giving you something. Like you have to be seeing something.
That's not true.
Well,
If you're trying to get someone's attention, you can either A, win off aesthetic, which is good but a bad idea. Also, you can't just be attraction has to be there, obviously.
Obviously,
but if you're just trying to take and you're not giving anything, they're probably going to find you boring.
right. But what I'm saying is, in order for you to take, they have to give something. Like you guys can't both be sitting there trying to take and not giving. Like
Right.
it just doesn't work practically. So while you're trying to figure out if they're a bump on the log, and I guess they're trying to figure out if you're a bump on the log, or are just like staring at each other, like I don't know how that process would go about.
I don't know. I've not been in that predicament, fortunately.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like people sell themselves. So while you're trying to figure out if they're a bump on the log, they're going to be either giving you something to find that out with, and sometimes that's not a great thing if they're too busy to worry about what you're like. It's just if they're too wrapped up in themselves to even try to figure out who you are, that's not a good sign.
Right.
Yeah, but I would say they're still selling themselves.
I have to disagree. A lot of people don't even. It's just like a lot of the time it's like talking to a wall.
And maybe they don't have anything to sell. Maybe that's just they are the bump on the log, like you said.
Yeah.
I mean, it's yuck, but it's who they are. They are yuck. I haven't been dating in a long time, so I just talk to people. Most of them are not bumping the log who I talk to. Most of them.
Well, yeah. When I approach people in the friendship capacity, it's typically not a bump on the log. It's the people that, for whatever reason, when it comes to dating, it's like, oh, now you want to not talk.
So you need to find some way to transition from friend to romantic instead of going from we're just gonna see how romance goes, I guess.
Well, that's always my goal, but
Yeah, I mean, I know that, but our audience might not know that. So your friend who's not a bump on the log is then can be transferred to romance,
I guess it could be transferred.
and that's okay as a goal. Know which friend of yours is great. You already knew what I'm about to say because I told him I'm planting a seed, and then just let it sprout.
It's not going to sprout because I do not think it's great, and I have zero interest in that relationship. Zero.
But they're already your friend. They're not a bump in the log in the front. Just saying.
No.
Seems like the makings of a great
You have to
relationship
be attracted
already.
to them.
That can be learned.
No.
It can be.
It can be, but I
There you go.
already know them. It's different if I see a person on the street that I don't know, and I'm like, oh, I'm learning you as a person. I like you as a person. Now I feel like you're more attractive.
But do you like her as a person?
Yeah.
There you go. And we already said that to be superficial, not to be shallow.
I like you as a person too.
Yeah, but you're not interested in my gender.
I'll do what I want.
Okay, I mean that's true, and I'm also married, so I cannot.
What part of I do what I want? What does you being married have to do with me doing what I want?
That means that no matter what, that can't be pursued.
No, that's not how that works.
Okay.
Not if I'm doing what I want.
Well, yeah, but I feel like a weird vibe would go on.
I'm just saying.
You do what you want. I'm not going to deny that. I'm just saying that us being friends does not equate to that due to your sexual orientation, our sexual orientation, really, and also I'm married. So I'm off the table.
No one's ever off the table. I'm just kidding. I don't believe that.
I was about to say, I was like, I taught you well, but
no, no, wholeheartedly do not believe that. Couldn't even joke about it for too long.
I can joke about it forever.
No, I hate it. No, I'm not interested in that at all. Absolutely not.
That's just so. If the other person is still on the table because they go with your sexual orientation, and as far as I know, they're not married.
So
they're
just
open.
Another person existing
Within your sexual orientation.
Yeah, but that's back to that low standard.
But you're already friends with her, which means that she's a decent person.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
No.
And that's just not superficial. Now, if you were to say no because of superficial things, it goes against everything we just talked about.
Exactly. They're not superficial no's.
But aren't they?
No, not at all.
You know what? Tell us about it in the comments. Hit the like button if you agree with Eminence, because Eminence is, of course, right. And then share it so other people can also agree with Eminence and let Amaranth know he's being shallow about the situation. Thank you.
But they won't know the situation, so they won't know if it's shallow or not.
From the information we gave them,
I'm not giving them any information.
The information I gave you guys is
that was also no information.
She's a good person.
She exists.
She exists, which is first step. Hello, she exists, and then she's a good person, or she's at least a decent person, whom you are friends with, so you have a good time together when you are together. Everything seems to be lining up, except for
Except for the no.
Except for the no, which we don't know why. It just seems superficial.
I do know why. And it's gonna stay there. Thanks for joining us, guys and girls and everyone else. We'll catch you next time.